Who has summoned me? Who has summoned me? The Ninja Theory Guardian. They have called upon me. Oh, fuck. Who is it? Who do I face upon these great seas? More DMC fandom. Tell them that the reboot's a good game. Conquered them. What? Enslaved? You think it's slaves? Garbage? You think it's trash? What's that? Hellblade? It exploits mental illness? Yeah. What now? They face too much. I know too much. I'm prepared for everything that is thrown in Ninja Theory's way. What? Hold on. What's that, Mr. Shadow?
Please, sir, spare me. I haven't seen my family in years. You took them from me. How could you?
Oh, I see. Oh, the fan base hates the new Ninja Theory game. What is it called again?
Please, I beg of you, let me go and I'll give you everything.
Oh, Bleeding Edge? Oh, that's... Wait a second. Traitors. Amongst us? Traitors? Are you sure?
Anything I have is yours. Just please spare my family.
In our ranks? I thought we fought side by side. How can I trust any one of you? I'm gonna kill myself one of these days. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another video. A video where I find myself ranting about things that, what was I? I'm sorry, did I mention I have, like, short-term memory loss and fatal forms of autism? But obviously, if you haven't heard the news yet, if you've been living under some kind of barrel rock of some sorts, over here in this fan base, we don't discriminate. Homie. If you want to know my personal take on it, it looks good. A lot of the people there seem very passionate, and overall, it looks to be like a very new and creative type of game. Now, personally, a lot of these games don't pan out very well. Due to it being in a new kind of genre, or they wind up taking off, you know, like the Battle Royale scene, which was very new to the genre, until it took off, then, yeah, that happened. While I am disappointed that this isn't a single-player game, I'm actually quite excited, because this almost, like, fits Ninja Theory in a strange way, because Ninja Theory has always, like, developed, like a universal system, and I think that would work really well for a multiplayer type game. So I would really love to see it, and I haven't played the game yet, but it looks very interesting. So yeah, so that's my take on it. If you wanted to know, I wanted a single player game, but I didn't get that. But I want to see what they have to offer me in terms of a multiplayer experience. The real thing that I'm actually disappointed about is that it's not Tameen that's directing this, it's the creative director of DMC Devil May Cry. Not that I have anything against DMC Devil May Cry. Especially if you watch my channel or talk to me. That's clearly not a problem. It's just the fact that I was kind of hoping for Tameen to be there, but I guess he's working on something else. Wink, 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 wonk. We'll get to that in the video. This girl, creative director, for DMC and the creative director on this project as well, seems to be very patient, yeah, very patient, and hardworking and devoted to this project. So that's always a good thing that you want, and I think that she's gonna either fuck up really hardly, or we might actually create something that's amazing. It's for me, it's probably gonna be a 50-50. It's either gonna be like a really good game, up there with, like, the Overwatches and whatnot, even though people are comparing this to Overwatch when there's really very little connection. It could just be a failure, but even through all that, I'm proud of them for taking it this way, and I hope a lot of them enjoy themselves. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, we aren't here to talk about my personal opinions. Boy, oh boy. You see, there's some people on the internet, that after Hellblade, they suddenly feel like they're obligated, so to speak, that Ninja Theory should be making a single player game instead of a multiplayer experience, because I guess they can dictate what they want to now. Even though Ninja Theory hasn't made a multiplayer game before, well, they have. It was some Chinese game. It was apparently xenophobic. Yes, I've actually talked to people. That's how deep I am into people's minds. But sadly, there are people out there on the internet that think, oh boy, this is the death of Ninja Theory. This is the end of it all. This is the death of Hellblade and all the great experiences. Because all of a sudden, they'll just stop after this point because they've been bought by Microsoft. To say the least, no, you're wrong. And we will go through these arguments one bit at a time. I have 2 videos and a third one here to mostly back up a lot of my arguments that I'm using, or other interviews and stuff to that matter. But first, we will start off with the we will start off with the most retarded one. And by the way, let me mention that these people that we'll see in this video that are very angry at it aren't actually people who have played the game. Only saw the teaser trailer and then completely lost their minds. We'll start off with the first video. Ninja Theory's new IP, Bleeding Edge, leaks and looks absolutely awful! Exclamation point. And most of that is in all cap. Why he capitalized some of the letters, but he didn't even capitalize the whole title? Why? Just capitalize the whole title, man. What? Whatever. I'm not paid to think. I'm just here to guard. Come on, show me your best arguments. Let me see them.
How's it going, guys? Now, I want you to understand one thing. This is going to be extremely opinionated video.
Oh god. You know, when everybody says, or when anybody says, this is going to be extremely opinionated, then you know it's probably garbage. Because when something's extremely opinionated without any objective facts and with just complete subjectivity, it's probably not going to work out well, unless it's like a story or something like that. Then, of course, that's extremely subjective. But even that, you can bring in objective elements. Ah, boy. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm going to be talking about Ninja Theory's the new IP game that will be, I'm not too sure, launching or more or less having its early release anyway. Now, this is especially since it's been taken into, it's been bought off as a studio, as Microsoft has taken, the ownership more or less of it. If you guys do know it or don't anyway, Ninja Theory, they are the studio, the developers that have created I want to say a bloody masterpiece game by the name of Hellblade: Son of Sacrifice.
Also have created DMC, Devil May Cry, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, Heavenly Sword. Funny enough, the people that, that were the creative directors of DMC Devil May Cry wanted to make this game because of that, with those influences already, since they've already been working on that project so long. Well, but we'll get to that.
This time around, if you guys did not know, there was a leak during the, for their new upcoming game called Bleeding Edge.
I think we can all agree, leakers are the worst. Now, there's been very little of them have been good, okay? What is leaking something for the good of intent, okay? Like something like, what, Half-Life 3 story or something like that, the Damian Wayne, Batman video game, those are good things. And then you have stuff like this. I'm gonna get...
A lot of people are extremely concerned and extremely disappointed. I'm one of them. You can read by the title for yourself of this video.
Not a lot of people, just you.
That it looks simply just trash. It's just that.
Again, with this, it just looks trash. This is something that plagues the entire video, is that he'll say this without any good evidence of why it is trash. He'll just say it's garbage, and then you just have to kind of take his word for it. He doesn't give you any reasons why, but he just calls it trash. Okay. I mean, when I'm looking at this gameplay right now, I see a lot of, like, colorful stuff, a lot of, like, interesting, elements. I see a lot of, like, low stun stuff, which is really nice, because something that I really hate about fighters in general is that there's so much stunning, and I have to sit there and wait as the other person combos on me. But it seems like they've actually solved this problem, which is really nice. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of things that make this game really good, but I guess you said it's trash, so it's got to be trash, right? It's got to be trash.
Now, I understand the fact that this is still a leak. I understand the fact that this is still early. I understand the fact that this is just a trailer. It is not supposed to represent too much of anything. Now, one thing for certain that I can definitely pretty much say that from the Ninja Theory, that the developers that they already have so much experience of creating such a game as Hellblade, and now they're making such a diversity of their known IP into something completely new and different. More cartoony type of feel, obviously.
Cartoony? I don't know about that. I mean, there's some gritty stuff there too, but yes, it does focus more on color. But I don't know about cartoony. I mean, mate, we can also say the DMC reboot also had a lot of color to it. We can also say Heavenly Sword had a lot of color to it and wasn't necessarily gritty. I mean, Journey Odyssey to the West had probably the most puke, that is the neon trip. Not that there's anything bad about that in terms of color. The only game I'd say that they have without color, or that's less cartoony, is Hellblade. But again, these aren't problems with any of those. They're not bad, but I don't know how you can compare it to Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite has gun, like Fortnite. No, fuck off, come on.
Okay, now that's fine. Cartoony feel like, Overwatch type, Fortnite. I mean, people love this. Personally, not for me, but, I definitely can respect those people that, those developers that are trying to concentrate on that type of art style. From the leak, the trailer that represented itself, no, it's just like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove? Like, are you trying to just go on a hype train and just try to be the next Overwatch, the next Fortnite?
Yes, they were trying to be the next Fortnite and the next Overwatch. Even though this game was developed or started developing before both of those games even existed. It's exactly like Fortnite and it's exactly like Overwatch, and they're exactly, trying to prove that.
That's how it seems like that it's been developed by. And I personally I'm not looking forward to this game at all. I'm very disappointed. It looks trash. It just does not look that good. Again, this is just an extremely opinionated video, guys. I have you understand this.
If you don't know why I'm laughing, I think that perfectly encapsulates what I'm doing. It looks trash, it looks awful, it looks bad. But guys, this is an extremely opinionated video. Guys, don't hate on me, please. Guys, this is very opinionated. Please, I can't take criticism. Go away.
Hellblade, guys, like, it's such a phenomenon, like how pretty much the developers are not known for anything. Well, that's subjective, obviously, but like they are pretty much not really like big developers, right? And also there's not that many people working on the game, and as well that they have created such a fantastic game such as Hellblade, and yet such a diversity into this. Like, it's been already rumored and said that Microsoft is forcing them to do this multiplayer round and everything just to make sure that they get all the monetizations, means, and everything.
If you're saying diversity in terms of like genre, in terms of like how this is multiplayer and this is single player, then yeah, I guess you're right. But let's think about it. They're still the same company. Oh god, I'm doing the anime glasses thing. Oh Jesus. They're still the same company. They're still making the same type of game. While we might say, oh, this single player and this multiplayer, they're still in the same genre. Like, if we made a first-person shooter that's single player, and then we made a first-person shooter that is multiplayer, you can still have a lot of the similar and same elements. And that's probably why this multiplayer game that they're releasing is very similar to a lot of the previous games that they put out. An action game. But I guess we don't think about that. It's only single player, multiplayer. Single player games are dying, man.
They don't care about the single player story driven games or whatnot. And if that's the case, I can some ways I can believe that. There's no real single player experience that you can actually have in any of the Xbox exclusive games. Now, that's subjective again because, Gears 5, Halo, but, they do have single player, but the main point of those games is obviously the multiplayer. Gears has a very good multiplayer.
Again, this was not Xbox forcing them to do these things. I know that's an easy fan theory for everybody to buy into, but it simply isn't true. Because they have been working on this project for years. And they wanted to release it now. And get it done now with Microsoft's help. That way they can get it out into the air. And that too, multiplayer games also tend to do better with a AAA backing behind it. Can I make myself any more clear?
I can't say much about this word, but from personally, Gears and Sony people, they say, Gears was fantastic, it's about it, it's a long time to be part of. Halo is so it's like a cool version of Halo 4 in my opinion. And now Halo, for Halo game. And that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to deny that, but have you noticed that there's no real single-player-driven story experience coming from Xbox as an exclusive title? One of those games was, I believe it was in Insomniac? Yeah, I think that was that. Sunset Overdrive, I think that's the one. That was the only recent one, but that was, I think, came out like 2014, I think. And now it's under Sony, well, PlayStation. And they've crafted such a fantastic game as such as Spider-Man. There's no multiplayer in it.
Okay, here's the thing. I think a lot of Sony... this is again with the thing that Microsoft, like... Microsoft little boys, they get up there and they're like, "Whoo, we haven't seen a single player experience." Okay, that's fair enough. And you want to be like Sony, that's fair enough. But let's also take into account that Sony is quite divisive about some of their games. Not divisive in terms of the company itself, but the people. The people get very 50-50. There's some people that really love God of War, and then there's some people that really hate God of War. I know that might not be as common as you think. Trust me. Last of Us, while many articles or many top tier people really like it, there's a lot of people that don't because they think it's too cinematic and etc. The only game that I can see that's gotten the most amount of love is, yes, Spider-Man, but all the other Sony exclusives have been, how do I put this, fairly divisive, just not in the way that you expect. Ooh, another added thing to that point is the fact that Detroit Become Human. Again, not a game that everybody loves. Some people really dislike David Cage, and some people really love him. Some people really like that new game, and some people really hated it. I mean, again, it's you would be surprised about how many people are pretty divisive about this.
Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But, making a diversity of the game that you already are familiar with, and again, with not enough time implementation for your game that you're trying to develop, such as, was it Bleeding Edge or whatever it's called, and now it's coming out and looks like trash. It just, what the hell?
Why is it trash?
Again, guys, this is... Oh, God, I have to make sure I've said this 50 times, as many times as I have to. I cannot stress this enough. This is extremely opinionated video. This is, I cannot stress this enough. This is extremely opinionated.
Guys, I said it looks like trash. But guys, it's extremely opinionated. Come on, guys, come on, just relax here. Just stay with me. It's very opinionated. Do I have anything to back up these opinionated claims? No, but guys, it's extremely opinionated. That makes my opinion just immune to all criticism. Duh.
To what we already expect from the Ninja Theories and now what they are crafting in here is a complete disappointment in my personal opinion. Opinionated video, like I said.
Opinionated video, just like I said. Opinionated video, just like I said. Opinionated video, just like I said.
Opinionated video, like I said. A lot of people feel the same way. After such a, realistically brutal and a emotional-driven story experience, like a linear experience, such as the Hellblade.
Are there more emotionally connecting things? Yeah, there are certainly similar beats and stuff like that. I can see that, but, I still don't get your point, though. So what? They've changed it? And your point is?
And making such a different approach to their games, to the second IP game.
Oh god, they're making a different type of game. Oh no.
And it's like, what? I also heard that, please don't quote me on that, but I believe I might have heard that since the Microsoft, taking it under their wings, basically, they split the developers in half. But, wasn't the Ninja Theory developers already, far smaller than expected? And, wait, you're gonna splitting them in half or something?
It's funny because you say, you're a massive, Hellblade fan. But anybody that, loves Hellblade, would know the fact that they had, 25 developers of the, in total, 100 developers they had on staff. Ninja Theory has split themselves multiple times. This is nothing uncommon that Ninja Theory's done. Which is, again, why I stress the point that Bleeding Edge is only a smaller portion of the team, or, half or something like that, while the other half, Tamin's half, is probably working on a single-player experience. If you'd calm your tits, give them some patience, give them a little bit of rope to work with, then you'll probably get your single-player game. This isn't I'm not saying this because I'm a shill for a big AAA company. I'm saying this as a company that is fairly small, and that needs support, and you're trying to backstab them.
I don't know. I might be wrong. Hell, maybe when this game does come out, maybe it'll end up being something fantastic or something brand new. and full risk taking. That's what I decided to go with. Completely different approach. Who knows? Maybe I could be taking this out of my ass, and maybe I'm just too frustrated, and maybe my emotions are taking it better for me, and I'm not taking this logically. I don't know.
Really now? Really, Mr. ZD? I'm not pronouncing that. Mr. ZDEyE? Really now? You might be thinking this too emotional, and your emotional side is overtaking your logical side of your brain? Really? That's crazy. Because all the times you said and you called it trash, I was totally on board with you. I really love the fact how you didn't back up any objective elements. So yeah, I'm moving on. That's pretty much the end of the video. It's just like nonsense after that. Pretty much, there's nothing really any meat-wise. This is probably one of the most disliked videos I've seen covering this topic. It's no wonder, really. It's not really that good. But boy, oh boy, I have another video for you.